What if your lead magnet did not just capture emails, but it qualified them, determined who was a buyer, and automatically reached out to convert them for you? That's what this AI agent does. And today I'm going to walk you through how I built it literally step by step so that you can increase your conversion 40%. Because let's be honest, there is no better time to sell to someone than the moment they've raised their hand and say, hey, you have something that I want. If you can hit them in the first 15 minutes of them signing up for your lead magnet, you will be top of mind and your chances of booking a call will skyrocket. So I'm about to walk you through node for node how I built this out in Gumloop. And I'm going to give you the free flow below so you can go and automatically use it yourself without having to raise a finger. So if you're ready, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start off in Gumloop. And Gumloop is effectively a drag and drop workflow builder. So if you've used something like Wix or a website builder and you drag and drop a header, a hero, whatever it is, it actually creates code in the back end. Gumloop is like that, but for workflows. And so it's super easy to use. It's my favorite way to build out quick MVPs. We're going to start off today. We're going to create a flow. We're going to go ahead and add in an input. We're going to call this email. We'll save it. Let's zoom out a little bit. And then for the basics, we're going to go right to Apollo. So we have Apollo contact enrichment, which I believe receives an email and then it enriches it. So let's go ahead and see what comes out when I put in my email. Hopefully it has me. There it is. Okay, perfect. Harrison Wells. It has my LinkedIn status, photo URL. Sweet. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use an extract data node. So Gumloop, what's wonderful about it is that it has all of this stuff built out already, right? If you go through and look, there are tons of integrations they have and tons of tools that you can use AI for that are super easy and pre-built. So this specific tool that I just brought onto the canvas is meant to extract data from a step previous in the flow. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you're going to receive the results of an Apollo contact enrichment. I would like you to extract the LinkedIn, the location, the name, and the headline of this person. I think that there's also, let's see here, past roles is pretty cool. Yeah, we might as well, let's say, past roles. Okay, wonderful. We'll change this to GPT-5 mini to use just the best model that we can. We'll add past roles here as well. I think that's what we're going to do there. No, right? Location, name, headline, past roles. Location. That's what we're missing. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to get LinkedIn. And then I think that there's also sometimes Apollo will get company, website, if available. And then we'll also say tech stack. This may not be available. If not, leave blank. Okay, wonderful. So now we're going to go ahead and run this with the extract data, and I'm going to show you what comes out of it. So here we can see the LinkedIn, the name, the headline, past roles, Austin, company website, didn't find anything, tech stack, didn't find anything. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do a LinkedIn scrape. Let's see, profile scraper. We'll connect this here. We'll go LinkedIn URL. Wonderful. And then what else do we want to get from this information? Honestly, that's probably fine. Let's see, what do we want to get out of here? We already have a lot of this. We probably don't even need this. I wonder why it didn't find my company website. I guess here's what we could do. We could take this over and we're going to say, use another extract node right here. We're going to say extract from the email. Actually, you know what? We're just going to use a normal AI. Please review this email and give me the core domain, only the domain that is associated to the email. If there is no domain associated to the email, i.e. it's a personal email, then just output a blank.
Perfect. Wonderful. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a web scraper. So we'll have this here. I'm going to put this in an error shield so that if a personal email happens and it outputs nothing, then this doesn't error and the flow can continue on. Wonderful. And so then I'm going to go ahead and pass the inputs through as well. So what I'm doing right now, I know that this probably looks a little bit complex. Basically, when Gumloop runs, it runs sequentially. So it will basically run down through this line and then through this line. And then the flow that we add at the bottom will require both of these inputs. However, if this errors because there's a personal email and nothing comes out of it, then we have to make sure that we can still pass something through to this final step so that everything works properly. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that here and that there. And so what this basically, this join path is doing is that no matter what, regardless of whether there's an error, something will pass out to this bottom side. And then so finally, we are going to do an ask AI, and we're going to say, I want you to review this and to help me understand whether this person is a good contender and a decision maker for my business, which does AI training for executives and sales and marketing teams. And if they are, I want you to give me a comprehensive summary about this person based on the information that you have, the website that they have, etc. And if they aren't, then you can just output no and only no. Here are our inputs. LinkedIn, tech stack, and join paths. This is going to be the output of the web scrape if we had one. Okay, great. So now when we run this, let's go ahead and take a look at what this flow looks like. I'm going to pause this right now so we can speed up. All right, so this ran pretty quickly. The final Ask AI node is running as we speak. You can see that, yes, this is a strong contender. And obviously this is my own business, but let's see. Founder of Digital, specializing in that, VC experience, investment background. Yeah, wonderful job. Okay. So we have a high quality filter now, and now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a router. Good contender, not. We're going to evaluate response for each of these. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave AI on here just because we'll make it easy. And so what you're looking at right now is Gumloop basically has the ability to route and create different routes based on the data that happens. And so right now, this Ask AI node will output, yes, this is a good contender, or no, it is not, and it will have all the data about that person. And so if they are not a good contender, then move them to not. If the AI says that they are a good contender, move them to good contender. And now, if we go ahead and resume this, we'll resume from right here. And we'll see what should happen is that I should come out on this side here. Good contender, wonderful. Okay, and so now, what we'll go ahead and just do is we'll make this an output. So, if we wanted to have the results of this workflow be used in another workflow, we could do that. And then what we'll also go ahead and do is we will have AI come in and it will receive this and we'll say, please review this and write me a well-formatted email with a proper spacing, etc., for good formatting in Gmail or Outlook or other systems. Make it no more than 3 lines. Make sure that you use their first name wherever possible. Make it highly personalized and related to our offer. Sign off, Best Harrison. Output nothing but the email body, please. We'll take this. Then we'll make this a written with Sonnet as well. We'll name this email body so we don't get confused. Wonderful. And then for this one, we're going to say, please review the contents of this email alongside the contents of the person we're emailing and write me a subject line that is no longer than 8 words that will be personalized to this person and the email that we've written. Output nothing but the subject line, please. And the email body will be right here. And so the reason that I'm putting these with what's called XML is that AI actually reads XML far better. And so when you structure your AI prompts with XML, oftentimes you'll get much better results. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And then last but not least, we will do a Gmail sender, which is going to receive our subject line, our email body. Let's scroll back up to the top here. This is a long flow now. There we go. The actual email to whom we are sending this. Wonderful. And I'll say Harrison at Dodo Digital. Sweet. And we're going to save it as a draft. Okay, wonderful. So now we have an entire flow. We're going to run this in a second, but I just want to run you through exactly what it is that we have here. So at the beginning, we receive an email. We then enrich that email using Apollo, and we get out a bunch of data like the personal information, their location, their LinkedIn, their photo, their current roles, their past roles, information about the organization they're at, other data points, and we pass all of that in and we extract that data out for use later on. We then also have AI extract the domain from that email, scrape that domain, and give us information about the domain. We finally have AI basically summarize and filter what we found about this person and filter them into whether or not they'll be a good contender for our services. We then route that. If they're not a good contender, the workflow ends. We'll just go ahead and put an output here just to make sure that things look nice and pretty. Wonderful. And if they are a good contender, then we write an email body, we write a subject line. We also have this output, so we would add them into our CRM, and then we actually draft an email. So we're going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to run it with my email real quick, and we're going to see what comes out of it. All right, so it is already done. Right here, Harrison, AI training to boost Dodo's bookings. Notice you're already crushing it with this. Okay, that's good. But I don't like the email. I think it's too long. It doesn't have proper spacing. And I hate that they're using M dashes. So we're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and change all of those things. So on the subject line, never use an M dash. Well, never use an M dash. Sometimes these voice to text mess up every once in a while. All right, and then for here, please make sure that the email is no longer than 50. I don't know. And so to be clear, I'm not a cold emailing expert, but hopefully I think this should be good. So now to test this out, we're going to actually go ahead and resume this from right here. We're going to see the new draft that comes out. And we have a new draft. Let's see what came. Okay. It's much better. It output the subject line now, which we didn't want. And it also, don't like that it cut those off like that. All right, let's go back. We're gonna do one more iteration here. Never output a subject line, only ever output the email body, please. Also, please make sure that you use line breaks, but do not press enter or use a line break in between a sentence, because we want this to be able to show properly and be well formatted, whether someone is viewing on mobile or whether they're viewing on desktop. In other words, the system is going to handle formatting, so just do one or two sentences and then do a line break, please. All right, now finally we're going to go ahead and rerun this. And so this is what I actually do when I build out a workflow. We have to iterate. It's never going to be perfect right off the bat. And so I wanted to show you all of this live so you could see really how quick and easy it is to build out a relatively simple lead enrichment workflow. And now we have an automated follow-up as well. So let's take a look here. It's still put out. That's so frustrating. All right. I wonder why it is doing that. We're going to have to add a constraint, I think. Or, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring this into chat. It continues to put out a subject line as well in the email body, even though I specifically told it not to. Can you ensure that it does not do that? All right. Perfect. And so now chat's going to write a highly optimized prompt for us that will solve this issue. Great. Okay, wonderful. All right, let's see. Now We'll try running this one final time. All right, it's done. Let's take a look at what we have here. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, wonderful. I mean, this isn't the best cold email in the world, but as you can see, we had a big change from here to here to here, and now finally here. Advanced AI training for Dodo Digital Team. All right, wonderful.
So that's it, y'all. We did it. In a few minutes, we went from a simple email that comes out of your lead magnet to a fully automated system that enriches, qualifies, and follows up with your leads. And listen, this isn't just trying to build a workflow for the sake of it. This is something that will actually drive revenue. Once again, 40% increase in calls booked from my lead magnet by literally just implementing this workflow. It turns conversations into real clients because remember, timing is everything. So if you can hit someone within 15 minutes, your chances of booking a call will skyrocket. So I hope you learn how to build a flow. If not, or even if so, it's actually down there below. You can get it for free. You don't have to build this out on your own. You'll just have to create a quick Gumloop account. It will literally take you less than 5 minutes. You'll be up and running. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, please shoot a subscription below. I'll be sharing a lot more of these kinds of workflows. And actually leave a comment as well. If you made it this far into the video, let me know what else you want to see, and I'm glad to build it. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I will see you next time.